The Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms guarantees the rights and freedoms set out in it, subject only to such reasonable limits prescribed by law as can be demonstrably justified in a free and democratic society. What does demonstrably justified mean? Is thine death demonstrably justifying removing your rights?
No. No answer for that.
So, in regards to the Charter of Rights and Freedoms and what freedoms and rights are being neglected by our government, Section 2, 7, and 15. Section 2 says everyone has the following fundamental freedoms: freedom of conscience and religion, freedom of thought, belief, opinion, and expression, including freedom of the press and other media of communication. So, just like freedom of thought, belief, opinion, and expression. So I'm free to believe what I want.
Even and free of news, like Facebook.
I'm free to believe that a mask doesn't save me.
Woo!
I'm free to believe that a mask is not going to save me from a virus.
Look at that guy. He's driving and recording at the same time. That's against the law. The cops are right over there, but he was recording us as he was driving.
Okay, Section 7. Everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person, and the right to not be deprived thereof except in accordance with the principles of fundamental justice.
And also, how do you justify the emergency measures? There is no justification for it.
But there's nothing in the law that holds the government to justifying. Because I did look through the Emergency Act, and again, like I already said, the document that I received from the nursing home about, informed consent, it's protecting the government. And that's exactly what that does too. It protects the government. It doesn't protect us. Equality rights. Every individual is equal before and under the law and has the right to equal protection and equal benefit from the law without discrimination. And in particular, without discrimination based on race, national or ethnic origin, color, religion, sex, age, or mental or physical disability.
Disabilities.
If you think not wearing a mask is a mental disability, that's up to you. Subsection 1 does not preclude any law, program, or activity that has its object the amelioration of conditions of disadvantaged individuals or groups, including those that are disadvantaged because of race, national or ethnic origin, color, religion, sex, age, or mental or physical disability.
And that's what we're seeing here with Brittany and Nick. And others being assaulted and discriminated against for having medical exemptions. That's complete and utter discrimination of people with disabilities.
And we did discuss last week that everybody has the right to assemble, freedom to assemble. That's why we're here, and that's why we're allowed to be here, because it's our right, our basic right to assemble when we want to, as long as we do it peacefully.
Yep, and how peaceful is it? Hot chocolate and hot dogs and hugs and smiles and.
You have to remember, it is the government in check, not the other way around.
Well, we have arrived to a point where the government is trying to rule us instead of govern us, and we'd like to get back to the spot where we decide what to do and the government carries it out, not the other way around.
Yes.
You serve us.
That's right, they are our servants.
The same thing I was saying about like when they went to, if people did indeed walk into the Capitol, they pay for it.
Absolutely.
Too, man. Have you noticed that when you drive by schools and hospitals and nursing homes, which is where everyone's getting like really
assaulted,
censored, they're all big box, look like prison camps. Now that I drive by, I'm like, that looks like a jail. That looks like a jail. They're they're prisoners in there. The kids are prisoners in there. No one can go in, no one can go out except them, and they have to wear masks, and they can't have a say. Senior homes, they can't go in and go out. They're stuck there. Families can't see their mom and dad. They are prisoners.
Yes.
Hospitals, you go in, you can only go in by yourself. Your own fiance cannot be there when your baby is born. They go in alone. Like, what?
I heard about a palliative patient recently that I actually personally know. And her husband has been refused entry to the hospital to be a companion to his wife in her time of need during her palliative care.
Like,
That is
How
so
wrong
awful.
is that?
Yeah, and people justify this. Like, where's your humanity? You say we're out here killing people when we're not even hurting anybody, and yet you're letting people
Government. You should be able to be with your husband or wife.
torturing people.
It is.
It's genocide, murder, torture, abuse. No one cares. No one cares about.
I do not consent to the government making decisions about my health.
Someone tried to call me a lawless anarchist.
They were elected to serve, not control me. I do not consent to the tracking and tracing of citizens. I do not consent to government making decisions without a democratic process. I do not consent to politicians or any other individuals who are compromised by having a lucrative financial interest in the pharmaceutical industry making decisions about my health and my well-being.
Our body, our choice.
I do not consent to being told that these decisions are for my own safety. I do not consent to the closing of small businesses when multi-million-dollar companies remain open.
Exactly. Wall to wall, Black
I
Friday
do not
sales,
consent
Christmas
to the amount of
shopping.
division and hatred that is being encouraged between friends, families, simply for upholding opposing beliefs or for
Gaslighting.
speaking openly about what they believe.
Our governments are gaslighting us. They're perpetuating Munchausen by proxy on people.
I do not consent to the idea that pharmaceuticals and vaccines are the only way to prevent or heal from illness. One can surmise that a solid immune system in your body will do just that. The outright dismissal of good nutrition and natural prevention and therapies is highly questionable. I do not consent to the media only covering fraudulent and misleading case counts or grossly exaggerated death counts when the survival rate is immensely higher. Fear cripples immunity. So why aren't we talking about the excellent 99.9% recovery rates, successful treatments, and other therapies? I do not consent to the lack of care and consideration for non-COVID patients. We have been denied access to essential treatments, consultations, and surgeries for cancer, cardiovascular, and other life-threatening conditions. Those lives matter too.
Yes, they do. People attending church for their mental health matters as well. Churches need to get on board.
Here's what I do consent to. Being a free and critical thinker. Being an individual who cares about tomorrow. Being an individual who cares about the freedom of my child for the future.
Yes.
Someone who understands the connection between the health of our planet and our own health. I consent to being a caring person who will never stop fighting injustice and tyranny or questioning and condemning the lies and manipulation of the government and the media.
Yes, down with the media. I'm so sick of the media. Fake news.
The tragedy of 2020, this is the year we learned just how many supposedly educated people with degrees are absolutely clueless about what's actually happening around them and would more than happily march off a cliff if the media and government told them to do so.
Here on that. I was arguing with that guy last night. It's just like, they exhaust me. It's exhausting. Like they just kept saying, where's your where's your where's your biology degree, or where's your doctorate degree, or whatever.
I'm like, Google University.
Yes.
You
don't need it.
For yourself. You're not allowed to think for yourself.
If you think that arresting people for tobogganing and going grocery shopping is okay, and that, but they can have wall to wall, like when you get into Costco, there don't even have room to stand. There was no social distance, and there was nothing. People were touching things. It was ridiculous. But the mask is just the magic shield you put on, and boom, everything's okay.
Yeah.
But small businesses have to close. Small businesses can't do that. They can't be touching
The government likes to keep the small businesses open right now because they're the ones who are enforcing their policies.
Well, Costco is too.
Well,
but,
yeah,
Costco
but all
gets
the little businesses, every single body who wants to be in business has to enforce their COVID policy.
Yep.
It's mandatory, just like the nursing home. They have to follow the rules of public health, and if they don't, public health shuts them down.
Yep. Public health is the real problem with society. It's the biggest scam on society ever, is that we needed someone to tell us how to live our lives and how to take care of our health. No, we could have done that ourselves.
We've always done that.
Exactly. So that's why I said it. Public health is the biggest scam ever to be impacted on society, is the one thing that needs to end, and Russell needs to really take a good soul searching on her part.
She needs to stop the lies.
Yep. Did you see that video where she rubbed down the
wiped the whole desk
wipes
and the
her mask,
microphone and then wipes her nose through her mask? Very sanitary.
Oh, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. You know what's annoying is that people are like, oh, it's not no one in New Brunswick traveled, so it doesn't matter. Only focus on New Brunswick. But yet they'll use Ontario cases to say that, oh, but look what's happened in Ontario. We need to shut down. I'm like, oh, it only matters when you want it to matter, right?
Hi. How you doing?
You like to
You
help
gotta
us?
get off the road.
Who's he?
You gotta get off the road because you're blocking it.
I got a flyer.
Step off the road. It's just because we don't want to be running into the cops, that's all. That's the only reason. Hi.
You don't want that. You don't want any
Hi.
You got the mass gathering over there.
Well, I'm surprised they haven't came before. I'm surprised we don't have two sides of the coin, because usually we do.
That's funny.
There's no consciousness there when they got their eyes straight forward.
That's
And they're not seeing nothing.
And our militaries are breaking your spirits to make you into drones.
Yeah.
And then they look like robots now because you can't even see their faces. They're not just going up. Anybody who supports them, we're canceling your senators. We're doing all this stuff because Trump killed people. Right? So they wanted that. And when the vote went down, a way to make money off something. The vote was going to go against the protesters came in. I think that's why. Schumer voted with people. I don't think that was 92 senators now support when it was supposed to be a hoax. So they used that.
Do you have anything you want to say? Gonna stay mom today?
Far more interesting people here today.
What? Don't say that.
I'm glad to be on
Every single legal tried everything. I tried the Supreme Court, I tried the hearings, I tried the, between what's going on down there and everything going on up here, it's gonna go one of two ways.
They're never gonna muzzle me. Never gonna muzzle me. If they do, well, they did in jail, but I mean, they're not gonna muzzle me again.
there, I guess.
Well, no, I did have a choice, but I felt bad because I felt like I instigated the whole thing, and I didn't want him to keep this in longer. So if it wasn't for that, I would have said, no, I'm not wearing the mask. They can't keep you more than 24 hours. And by the way, they set
Yeah,
up
that's
the
too
jail
long
as
to be in a jail.
Yeah, it's a torture chamber.
It
It
is.
has the lights on, like glaring at you.
The echo in there is the
All
part
for
that...
your safety, though. All for your safety.
No.
Oh, yeah. No.
Medically harming you.
You don't have to wear the mask forever. Take them off.
Obstruction of oxygen cause hypoxia. Brain damage.
Yeah, there's brain damage that's happened already. Clearly, the lack of oxygen has already caused the brain damage that you see now. They love the mask. It's almost like it's a little teddy bear. Or
Well, do you know
something,
that
Susu or
a girl that spoke at our protest, she took her kids, and when she realized what was going down, she got out of Canada, but she had to wear a mask to get out of Canada. It was the only time they ever wore a mask.
they make you do a ritual just to leave this.
I know, but
ritual.
she talked about it in depth, how the psychology of it and how it affected them at the end of it.
Really?
And it was very interesting. Yeah, Yolande Clark, I think is her name is.
Okay.
Yolande Clark.
Yeah, this whole thing is look, here's.
But it affects you. It affects you.
I see a couple more rituals coming here. I just look at them. Here's my thought.
They're not socially distancing.
Well, that's a bit much. They
No,
have
it's
their
not.
masks on.
Yes, the invisible barrier mask.
I could be right. I could always be wrong. It's a working model I have, okay? I'm just going with the theory that we're not all the same here.
3% ag, we're not passing right.
Clearly.
That didn't make us the same.
Right. Clearly there's something different between people that want to be free, the humans, the ones that are thinking right now and going, wait a minute, and the ones that are like, no, I want you to be a slave and I want to be a slave too. I think there's a difference.
Yeah, but they've
So,
been conditioned that way for years and years
no,
and years.
no. I think it goes further than that. I think that they are actually coded like before they came here. And they
30
were
more
wired
case
up to
stomach is
all
what
the
it is. Of
programs
course
are
they did.
secretly gonna
Of
wake
course they
them
did.
into their demonic programs that they are. They were never meant to wake up. We were meant to wake up. I don't know how awake you are to what's going on. Maybe you just
Hope they
okay,
feel
well,
better,
this is a
Katie.
lie, but I'm going to hold on to the rest.
So if anybody can download our live feeds, that would be awesome. It'd be a wonderful thing to do.
Turn around, just kind of like, hide a little bit. But like a 33-year-old, a healthy 33-year-old dying, it's like laughable. Like, you might as well die from this lightning strike. That's how pathetic this is.
Oh, and if you're wondering why I sound a lot
Like,
more like
people can't add up numbers, I guess. I mean, subtracting.
Exactly, I agree. Stop obsessing over cases.
Yeah. People need to lay off the fear porn.
They just
No,
said
I used to love that fear
yeah.
porn.
They just said they announced 30 more cases.
Oh my God, does that mean they're dead?
It's all
No.
because of this super spreader event.
Oh,
Yeah, it's our super spreader event. We're magically making them all sick with
Were
COVID.
they using
must
that
be the
PCR
30
test that's
people
been
that were at the
proven
super
fraud
spreader
in like 7 different court systems now? Is that the test they're
those
using? The
30
one that
Yeah.
the inventor says of complete fraud?
Well, the 30 cases
Oh,
must
that
be
one,
the
eh?
30
The one that they're running at 35, 45 like cycles.
And let me guess, all long-term care homes?
No, hang on now. The 30 things that they just found, 30 cases, must be the 30 people at the super spreader event. We're
Oh,
all
yeah,
gonna be
for
sick
sure,
tomorrow.
for
They're
sure.
just telling the future.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah, for
That's all it is. They're so smart now. They can tell you when you're gonna be sick.
Oh, yeah.
Run the PCR test, and I'm sure you'll find it.
Yeah, lockdowns, it's to save us, everyone.
Well, like you said earlier, what is it? One COVID positive test or whatever?
Well, the
No, one
lockdowns
death of
kill 8
COVID.
times more people.
Yeah, that's what it
about,
was.
Rocco says it's more like 12, according
Yeah,
to his research.
yeah,
so
but at the minimum,
they're
let's
killing
put it that
12
way.
times more people to save one person. That makes sense.
That's
Anybody want to use the megaphone? Sorry, Shanna. Anybody want to use the
One
megaphone?
life is worth.
Anybody want to use the megaphone?
Yeah, like the guy that's suing to be able to touch his wife in the long-term
Yeah,
care home.
whatever.
Like, you have to sue to touch your wife now? Is that what we've come to as a society?
Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? Why are we all being treated like we're criminals, like we're sick when
I
we're
said they
not?
perpetuated mental disorder
I'm pretty
on the
sure I'm healthy.
populace. It's Munchausen by proxy, and they put it on all of us. We're in a mental disorder relationship with the government.
Pretty much.
We're being mentally abused. It's a mental disorder.
Affairs with the government.
Yep, I agree.
Because it's we're in a good relationship with the government right now.
Yo, Waldo! Dave, come here! They're enslaved by their ignorance. Dave, come here! Raise the bar! Raise the bar! Tobacco science is not science, it's advertisement! Ask them how they feel about
Are we taking a picture?
Yes.
Sherry.
Waldo!
Picture.
Waldo!
Hey, can you